If you're listening to every real estate guru on YouTube, you're probably missing out on deals, because just like this one that I'm standing in, this one does not look ugly. It is not a single family house, and there's no value to be added. So what? Matter of fact, the seller was not even motivated. So how did I find this deal? What makes it a deal? And is this really a new construction build? Yes. And today I want to explain to you, why you need to niche down on your list, niche down on the person that you're talking to. Because realistically, the difference between the person that's not doing real estate deals right now is the person that's doing deals knows who to go to, knows what to say, and then also knows how to structure that deal the right way so they can bring about income. Okay. Just to give you a little backstory, these are new construction homes, and we have owned this one right here in particular for the last 4 years. Now, the way we purchased it, was using a little strategy that I like to call buying houses without having to qualify for a loan. Essentially, we look for people in this market for whatever reason. They want to sell their property that they just purchased in the last 3 to 5 years. Now, the reason why we niche it down like that is because those people that just purchased the house, typically, if they have purchased it off the MLS on the multiple listing service with the realtor, they purchased it at retail or a little bit above. Now, with all the FHA loans and the down payment assistance programs, that essentially leaves these people with no equity when they purchase it. And if people that just purchased their house want to sell in the first 6 months, year, 2 years, up to 5 years, and they just purchased that house, a lot of the times they're gonna be stuck and can't sell. You see, in the first 5 years of a loan, if you look at an amortization schedule, okay, you'll see that there's not a lot of principal. So the amount owed typically stays flat in the first 5 years, and mainly those payments for the first 5 years are going towards interest to the bank. The bank sets this up so that way they can get paid their money up front faster. So that way they're less likely to actually, lose money in the transaction if you were to decide and sell the property sooner than later. Realistically, in a full amortized 30-year loan, you're paying for your property that you finance 3 times. Now, since we know this as real estate investors, since we know this is not education, instead of, looking at this like homework or you're teaching or preaching a lecture, we take this and niche down on a list. This is a particular person that we're looking to target for our marketing. Person that just purchased, a person that's looking to sell after they purchase, less than 5 years, and people that buy nice, pretty houses. Now, the way that we're making money off of this is no like smart or crazy different way, but the kind of house really helps out with that. Now, when you're looking at rent, you have to add value to the person that you're renting to. So things that you can do to add value is to, number one, make sure you have a really pretty house. Number two, is to help lower their expenses, and expense with renting a house is the yard. And then lastly, it's giving amenities that no other people have. So I'm gonna share with you in this video why I love renting out this particular new construction townhome. Number one is, in a townhome, tenants do not have to cut grass. And in the springtime to fall time, if you'll consider that a lot of people like cutting their grass weekly, a lot of people that even like cutting their grass will seed it, fertilizer, put starter fertilizer on it. And that creates an additional cost. And realistically, for a renter, renting property, most people rent because they want to keep their costs low and consistent. Okay? So if you can take that expense away from your renter, you'll find a way to increase the value in your property, which means you can increase the rent. Secondly, when you have new construction properties, you like deter your maintenance, or you defer your maintenance, I should say, because since everything is new, literally the floors, the plumbing, the electrical, the slab, the roof, everything is new in a new construction home, you decrease your expenses. See, as a landlord, one of our big problems is maintenance. I mean, we're buying old houses and we're trying to put new materials in those old houses, and then we're trying to put a tenant in there and think that they're gonna keep up that old property to your standard. That's not the way it goes. See, when you have roofs and HVACs and foundations and all those kinds of things, plumbing, and those things are older, they are more likely to break more consistently. So every month you collect rent, you're gonna have to pay a little piece of mortgage. I typically allocate about 10% of what I collect in rent will go towards maintenance. But in a new construction home, that 10% is almost added to your profit line. See, in the last 4 years, the only thing I've done over here is change air filters. Literally, I think we've unclogged the toilet maybe twice, and we've changed out 5 light bulbs. And when you're looking at rental property, this just adds a pile of cash flow onto your, onto your net cash flow and onto your net worth every single year. And then lastly, when you buy a new construction house in a neighborhood like this, now this is like a luxury townhome, so we share a wall with someone, okay? And there's an HOA, okay? So you definitely got to consider that. But when you live in a neighborhood like this or buy a property in a neighborhood like this, it comes with a community gym, a community event center that people can rent out, and a community pool. Now, reasonably, that adds even another level of value, because a pool to go rent at the Y, somebody might have to go pay $200 or $300 to go, have their kids play in a pool a couple times a year. Or a gym membership might cost someone $20, $30, or $50 a month, but there's a gym right here on the campus. So with that, more value leads you to increase your rent. And realistically, if we can lower our monthly costs, lower our monthly expenses, increase value in our property, and collect more in rent while picking up properties without having to qualify for a loan, you'll do something amazing in the real estate market. Now, if you want to get in real estate an untraditional way, right? You want to be able to buy with equity, buy with no money, or without using your credit. I got a newsletter below. If you just go to my website, enter your email, every week I'll send you little advice and tips that you can implement, almost that day, so that way you can dominate your market and buy properties like this. Look, until the next one, we'll see you. Peace.